For more than a decade, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo ruled the Ballon d'Or awards with an iron fist, trading the top two spots with such predictability that the award felt less like a competition. Even when Luka Modric broke their grip in 2018, Messi still claimed 3 of the next 4 awards, reinforcing a widely held notion that the trophy was all but destined for one of these two legends. Now, however, as their prime years fade into history, the Ballon d'Or is alive with debate once more. In 2014, the great debate was between Vinicius Jr. and Rodri, injecting fresh narratives and excitement into the mix. Mohamed Salah looked primed for the award, but Liverpool's exit from the Champions League at the hands of PSG, coupled with their absence from this summer's Club World Cup, may have dashed his hopes, regardless of his stellar performances in the Premier League. Could Harry Kane re-enter the conversation with his remarkable scoring prowess? Or can Mbappe and Ousmane Dembele, who have long been seen as players with immense potential, finally fulfill their promise and claim the coveted prize? Or what about a dark horse? What about Barcelona's Raphinha? For several years, Barca have flown under the radar, suffering early Champions League exits, sometimes even at the group stage, and managing just one La Liga title in the last 5 seasons. While they could still deliver world-class moments, they were far from sustaining the form needed to produce a potential Ballon d'Or winner. This season, however, things might be different. Barca are in the pursuit of a treble, having just brushed aside Benfica to reach the Champions League quarterfinals. They sit atop La Liga with a game in hand over Real Madrid and Atletico, while their Copa del Rey semi-final against Atleti is finally poised after a thrilling 4-all draw in the first leg. For the first time in a long time, 3 trophies could be within reach for the club, and one man is at the heart of it all. Raphinha is enjoying the season of his life under Hansi Flick, and if they keep it up, he might be the player to beat in this year's Ballon d'Or voting. The Brazilian has a staggering 48 goal contributions across all competitions this season, trailing only Salah in Europe's top 5 leagues, despite having played 300 minutes less. Arguably the continent's best creator right now, Raphinha also leads the top 5 leagues in chances created, big chances, and open play chances. To play against him this season is to be haunted by his driving runs and curling left-footed crosses, as well as his ability to challenge some of the world's best defenders. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, subscribe so that you don't miss out on our future videos. Raphinha's Champions League campaign in itself is already historic, boasting 16 goal involvements in just 835 minutes. In fact, if you exclude penalties, which seems fair since he isn't Barca's designated penalty taker, Raphinha's total is already the best return by a Barca player in a single Champions League season. However, it's not just the numbers that are defining his European campaign. It's his ability to shine on the biggest stage with game-changing moments. In the group stage, he scored a famous hat-trick in Barca's 4-1 victory over Bayern Munich, the club's Achilles heel in past seasons, and also netted the match-winning goal against Benfica in the first leg of the last 16, despite his side playing with 10 men from the 22nd minute. Granted, the newly expanded Champions League format has provided more opportunities with 2 extra games per team, but if he maintains this momentum, he could soon very well set a record for the most non-penalty goal involvements in a single campaign of the competition. Barcelona have been a juggernaut in attack this season, scoring a whopping 128 goals in 42 games, which averages to 3.05 goals per game, more than any other team across Europe. Hansi Flick, who stepped in as manager last summer, is overseeing something of a renaissance at the club, replacing Xavi's positional play with a more fluid style and encouraging his players to interpret the game with greater freedom. This season, Raphinha has predominantly played from the left, filling the club's long-standing void on that flank since Neymar's departure in 2017. However, much like in the second leg against Benfica, where he scored 2 crucial goals, he frequently roams all across the forward line, rarely staying in one position for too long. He has never really excelled at one-on-one situations against defenders, unlike Lamine Yamal or the Messi of old, so he doesn't play a traditional winger's role. Instead, under Flick, he has flourished as a floating forward, with Robert Lewandowski often drifting to the right-hand channel and creating space centrally for Raphinha to attack. From there, the Brazilian becomes a constant menace, ghosting between defenders and skillfully timing his runs behind the back line. To watch our breakdown of Barca's new game plan under Hansi Flick, click the first link in the description or the card in the top right corner. While a player's backstory isn't always a focal point in discussions about the Ballon d'Or, Raphinha's is certainly worth exploring considering how non-linear his journey has been so far. Until the age of 18, he actually grew up honing his skills in Brazil's notorious Várzea tournaments, which he fondly calls the home of the rejects, an unforgiving platform for aspiring players still trying desperately to get an academy contract. He then made the move to Europe back in 2016 when joining Vitória de Guimarães before going on to Sporting and then Stade Rennais. But it was at Leeds United in England where he truly exploded. The winger was instrumental in Marcelo Bielsa's expansive attacking style, which garnered widespread admiration across England and Europe. After helping the newly promoted side finish in the top half of the Premier League in his first season, he was better yet in his second, ensuring they avoided what seemed like certain relegation after Bielsa's mid-season sacking. When Barca came calling in 2022, he initially struggled to settle in, recording only 6 goal contributions before the 2022 World Cup and often finding himself in and out of the starting lineup. Dembele's resurgence that season further complicated matters, as the Frenchman finally delivered consistently after years of transfer rumors and frustrating performances. After 2 seasons of struggling to find his rhythm, and with the signing of Euro 2024 sensation Nico Williams looking likely, many fans expected Raphinha to be sold. Instead, he stayed and has more than repaid the club's faith in him. That version of the Brazilian, scrappy and chaotic, was an exciting player but far from the finished product. Now, at the age of 28, he is one of Barcelona's captains and the player who truly makes them tick. Ultimately, the Ballon d'Or doesn't just reward greatness, it also rewards narrative. Raphinha has the numbers on his side, but to truly strengthen his case, he needs silverware and a defining moment or two on the biggest stage to turn a strong campaign into an unignorable one. Mbappe has a compelling narrative on his side. Finally finding his feet after a long-awaited move to Real Madrid, potential Champions League glory on the horizon, and perhaps a chance to eliminate PSG in the semi-finals. His story practically writes itself. Rodri won the award last year as the anchor in Manchester City's and Spain's midfield, and with his influence rightly acknowledged, it offered a new lens through which the award could be judged. In this post-Messi-Ronaldo world, they may never be an obvious winner. And while Raphinha might not be the most obvious or glamorous choice, he could very well be the worthiest contender. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more football news, stories, and insights. Also, don't forget to hit notifications so you never miss a beat. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.